Well, as you can see, my buddy Jim's here. He's asked me to give him a tour, which in turn we're going to give you a tour of the all the fish in my fish room and everything downstairs, and everything's changed a lot. So
Yeah, it has made a few improvements and additions.
and additions.
Yeah.
So we haven't done this in a while, so let's have a tour around, and I hope you enjoy it. Remember to come on. We've practiced and practiced, Jim. Ready? And
And
hit that thumbs up if you want to.
so you call this tank Barb City, I believe?
I do. It's
got,
one of my favorite tanks.
What do you got in there? 3 or 4 varieties?
Well, we take a look here. We've got.
So, what are the names of all these barbs you have in here? These different.
Well, the ones with the really cool scale patterns,
So
with a really nice red with the blue dot that looks like an eye.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Those are my Odessa barbs. I've been breeding those for years outside. I didn't breed them this year.
Oh, I remember you doing that last year.
Yeah, I had it. Well, that one year I had a few hundred.
Yeah.
I actually had a hard time getting rid of some. Now, if I live closer to a city, not a problem.
Yeah.
Now, the ones that are really black with a red head or purple head, those are black ruby barbs. And there are also some tiger barbs in here.
That's these guys with the stripes?
Yep. And I think these are a mix of between ordinary tigers and green tigers.
Okay.
If you look closely, there's also some cherry barbs.
Is that the little one over there? It's just by the rock way back there?
There's some cherries in there.
Okay.
And there's also some checker barbs. They're a little bit shyer. Look near the back, you see a really nice checkered pattern on them. There's one right by the log that just swam by.
Yeah, I missed them.
This is truly one of my favorite tanks. That's why I call it Barb City. And
well, it's a nice collection of different barbs.
And there's nothing else other than barbs, and there are 2 bristlenose Bucosmus in here.
Somewhere.
Sorry for the reflection. That's just where the sun is right now. And you notice I've got lots of floating plants.
They're looking good. A lot of stems going on in there.
They provide lots of cover, and not that they're going to breed in here, but you never know. They certainly help with the water quality. I've got 2 hang on the back filters running this system.
Very nice. It's nice built into the wall here too.
Yeah, I love how that's built into the wall. This is my oldest tank. This tank is over 30 some years old.
Wow.
I had no major issues with it. And it's built right into the wall.
You build this yourself?
Me and a couple friends and a few beers.
Very good. Very good. Well, let's head into the fish room. Chris has added another tank in here. What's that, 125?
125.
125 gallon tank. First time I walked in here, he had it set up with some Shubunkins in it. And it's like, wow, that looks so good. Just walking in here, and that's the first thing you see. So let's head in.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that's probably one of the first things you see in here.
Yeah,
is the Shubunkin tank.
It is fantastic.
These are my
picked that up at like a thrift shop or something, didn't you?
For $75.
That's amazing. And the backing is all kind of peeling off.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit of algae I got to clean up.
Yeah, but it actually kind of looks good in the dark spots.
Yeah. What I do need to add is like a scavenger to it, just to help with that. Yeah. There's no sense me putting. Well, I don't like snails to begin with.
No. But you've only been running this for a couple of months now, right?
Yeah, well, it was running for a good month before these guys were added.
Yeah.
These are my up-and-coming Shubunkins, which I hope to breed next year. The vast majority are males. There are a few females in here. This is one of my few tanks that I have limited plants in there, simply because, well, They'll probably eat them.
I was going to say they just would eat it. I mean, I can see evidence of it on some of the leaves here. They've been munching away.
And, you know, they're omnivore, and they're going to eat what they're not really a scavenger, but they're constantly searching for food.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to go with a gravel, not a gravel bottom, but a sand bottom. So
Ends up cleaner.
well, no, it's just they like to siphon up the food and spit it out.
Okay. Well, kind of like in your indoor pond there.
Yeah.
In that last video, you were showing a bunch of sand on some of the rocks.
Yeah. And that's just from them digging at the food. And
yeah, you can see it in here too.
Yeah. They're constantly digging through. And anyone who has cichlids would know the same thing.
Very cool.
Yeah, give them a bit of a feed if you want.
Sure.
They get a good mix of feed. A couple different types of pellets.
Oh.
I would like to feed them straight north fin, but
yeah,
there's a little cost factor
the numbers of fish that you have. We were talking about this before going on camera. I love north fin. I was feeding my fish that for most of the summer. Yes, it's expensive. However, hundreds of fish, feeding them all north fin, that would just be way out of anybody's budget. There's another tank you got down here. So you got some more Shubunkin in here. How old were these guys?
Some of these guys, believe it or not, are this year's.
This year's?
Yeah, there's almost 50% of those are this year's.
Wow. Well, I know this your Halloween one.
That's last year's.
Is that last year?
But this little guy here that's got the blue and kind of a gold into him.
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's this year's.
Wow. So he's one that likes to feed on his brothers and sisters.
Yeah, that's the way he started out.
Okay. Yeah. So that's why he's in this tank.
That
some of the bigger fish.
That and this is what I see quality right now. So what I'll see is certain qualities that I like about certain fish.
Yeah.
Whether it's just a straight blue or it's got a nice pattern.
Or finnage.
So it's gone to this tank for now.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that it's going to stay there.
Yeah.
And about a third of these I may keep. The rest will all be sold off.
Okay.
And
but yeah, you can inspect them a little easier when there's less numbers in one tank, right?
And I try to keep as many plants in here as possible. The lighting isn't the best under here. I've just got a light over it.
Yeah.
And some barn board for a cover.
Yeah. I see you got some water lettuce going. Actually, in most of your tanks here.
Yep.
So that was a great success last year. Putting them in the ponds and your barrels outside and
filled both yours and my ponds.
Oh, it just took off. So saved a few bucks.
A lot of bucks.
So we're going to head sort of the other direction from the big tank here. We're on the bottom.
We're keeping with the chubby theme, are we?
Yeah, let's stick with the chubbies for now, and then we'll get into your other tanks. So
these are kind of, this one here is kind of my reject.
This tank?
There's really nothing wrong with them. There might be a little small deformity in a couple of the faces on these guys here.
On these guys? Okay.
But they're going to go to a senior's home.
Oh, all right.
So rather than discarding them,
that'd be cool.
They'll get to see them, and
so
it won't matter to them.
Yeah, you got two tanks. They're set lengthwise here. That's
just
why there's a difference in the lighting there.
Yeah, just so I can maximize
your space.
Yeah, they're 15-gallon.
Yeah.
Tanks.
Okay.
And yeah, just.
Now, is there any particular reason?
Yeah, just that I don't have any plants going in that, and there's enough light going in there that I don't have that plugged in.
Okay.
Now, you notice I have water lettuce growing in that one as well.
Yep. Yep.
And I try to keep live plants in all my tanks.
Okay.
Just it helps
filtration and.
Well, it really cuts down the amount of water changes you have to do, because your plants are doing all the purifying for you, right?
Yeah.
If they're semi-aquatic, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Being basically a bog plant.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you've got quite a few tanks full of Shubunkin in here.
Yeah.
Wow. And then what's the story with these guys? They're also this year?
They're all this year's, and they started out mostly black and white.
Okay.
And I just wanted to try something different, as in sorting them to the color.
Yeah.
And you see how some of them have turned gray and black.
Yeah, but this guy here, he's got yellow in him.
Yeah. And some of them have got a nice red in them. And it's interesting how they all start to black and white.
Yeah.
And which ones will stay black and white.
The other one's kind of cool too. It's almost orange.
Yeah.
Like a light golden.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice fish, actually. There's some really interesting ones in here.
Oh, indeed.
You know, that little black and white one with the black tail. That should turn out to be something nice.
Mm-hmm. This guy here?
Yeah.
Heading towards the back?
Yeah.
Coming towards my finger?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm hoping so.
Oh, yeah.
And the ones that are white with a little bit of black,
mm-hmm.
that black should intensify.
Okay. So, speaking of colors, if you put these guys outside,
Would they color
next
up
summer,
more?
will the colors be more become more intense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's just more live food, right?
Yeah.
More natural live food.
Okay.
I do try to feed them a fair bit of natural feed along with flakes
Yeah.
and pellets.
Yeah. Okay. Like in your last video, you were showing feeding them some brine shrimp, for example.
Right.
Okay. Let's head over this way a bit. We'll stay on the bottom for now.
Are you doing a duck walk?
I sure am. Not bad for a 60-year-old, huh?
No, not bad at all.
Yeah. So these obviously, to me, look like this year's.
They are all this year's.
Okay. A couple of interesting looking ones in there I can see right off.
Yeah, there's some nice ones in there.
You know, that catch my eye.
Yeah, they were just a little bit bigger than your average chubby. And there's some really interesting ones in there.
There are, yeah.
The smallest one is actually the most interesting.
Oh, this guy right here, sort of in the back.
The black
In the middle.
tails.
The one pooping.
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
Whenever you want to look at a fish in particular, they're always having a crap.
Yeah. Well, which is good because that way you know you're talking about the same fish.
And you know if they're how healthy they are by the color of the poop, actually. So do you want to keep in the theme and we'll keep going?
We'll keep going up here. Yeah.
Sure.
So we'll head up here. Once again, these are this year's.
Yeah, and that's if we haven't mentioned the tank you got your hand on, and the other one was 125 gallon.
Yeah.
The tank below it that we looked at here is a 55.
Okay.
This one over here is a 30.
This one looks like it'd be 40 or 50.
It's a 40.
40.
And it's got one big hang on the back filter.
Well, I was just going to say
sponge
that.
filters.
I just noticed that. That's a nice looking filter. Most of your tanks, or all of your tanks in here, you have hang on the back filters?
All of them.
Okay.
And sponge for the most part.
Okay. Well, you got a couple sponge filters in this one.
Yep. And I always have something on the go, and yeah, there's going to be some nice ones here.
Yeah.
You notice I've got some floating plants here.
Yeah. Is that more Bacopa?
That is more Bacopa.
Okay, so it's what you've got going out in Barb City.
Yeah.
And we'll get to another tank where it's actually just gone crazy coming out of the top of the tank. So we got one more tank with Shubunkin in them. And what I'll talk about first, or what I noticed first, is all this plant material coming out the top of the tank. That's amazing. A lot of this was the cuttings that I gave you, and you had some of your own. We stuck them in here last winter.
Yep.
And they're just amazing. Look at that.
Now,
this guy's going to flower in here too.
he's flowered out there and above.
Very cool. Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Right in front of my face.
Yeah, that's a beautiful peace lily.
Excellent. So you got two hanging back filters going on this one.
Yeah.
Plus all the plant material.
Yeah, I could really tell with all the roots that are going, eh?
Those roots are insane in here.
And it still leaves me lots of access to get to the fish, which is important when you want to move fish around.
Oh, definitely. You've got roots from these plants on the top all the way down into your substrate now.
Yeah. It's
fantastic.
it's going crazy, eh?
Fantastic. Notice something on your tank, only because it's kind of drooped down the top corner here, but that's landscape fabric you put on the back?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I see like 4 tanks. 5?
More. Or 6.
That's a great idea.
Rather than painting it, right?
It's inexpensive, and black is really nice, I think, on the back of the tank. Except for your big tank here. I love the blue and the way it's worked
actually, the landscaping filter or cloth was absolutely nothing. My liner that I bought 2 years ago or last year
Yeah.
was wrapped in it.
Okay.
You know me, if I can save a dime, I will.
Well, why not, right? Like I say, you got so much going on in here. Yeah, wherever you can save, you got to save. So these, again, I'm assuming they're all this year.
Yep.
Um,
I'm still sorting through those, and
yeah, so you'll sort from these, you'll find one, and then you may put them into one of the other tanks.
Yeah.
You can get a better look at it.
so the
developing.
ones to your right and behind you,
Yeah.
those are the ones I've transferred from there.
Okay.
And some of them are in here. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just something caught my eye and got moved off to a different tank.
Closer inspection.
Yep.
As they develop.
And there's some bristlenose in there as well.
Are there?
Yeah.
Where are they?
It's really hard to spot them, but
Well, yeah, because we've been staring at this tank for about 5 minutes, and I haven't seen one of them. I guess not that I was looking for them.
well, they're usually in the roots. And I don't have any problem with algae in this tank, that's for sure.
No.
That's why I've got to get a couple more for the 125. Bristlenose and goldfish get along excellent.
Nice.
So,
Anyway, we've pretty much covered all the Shubunkin tanks. Now we're going to move back into the barbs. And before we start talking about the barbs, I noticed again you got two back hang on the back filters.
yeah,
And I noticed your air pump here,
right.
which makes me want to ask, you have one there, I see one over there, two on the shelf up there by your mugs. There's another one over there in the corner.
I've got them all over the place.
Why do you use so many different aerators? Have you ever thought about just getting one massive aerator that would
Yep.
run everything?
Thought about it lots of times.
And the reason not to do that, or you haven't done that, is
What happens if I'm away and it stops?
then everything goes down.
Everything goes down.
Everything.
So if I go away and one of those pumps dies, I only have one tank to worry about, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Plus, you'll notice almost every one of my tanks has one of these small with a plug-in, and what they'll do is they'll run normally, right?
Yeah.
But if the power kicks off, they're going to run for another 24 hours.
Okay.
So they're rechargeables,
All right. All right.
and you'll see those.
Oh,
And
so
almost
those are the white
always-
ones.
Yeah, all the white ones,
Okay.
they're all rechargeables.
All right.
And
so you
they're-
got a bit of security there.
Yeah, and they're all on actually a timer, so they'll run for 12 hours, but that charge will hold for 24. So why run it for 24 if you can get away with only running it for 12?
Okay.
I know they're only 3 and 5 watts, but every watt counts when you're
Well,
dealing with Fishroom.
when you got this much going on, for sure. All right. Now we've discussed that. Into this tank.
Yeah.
I see you've got some more barbs over here.
Lots.
These guys, I love them. What are
Both
they?
are gold or Chinese barbs.
Beautiful.
They kind of look like a goldfish, don't they?
They kind of do, but not.
Other than the green.
Their body shape isn't. The coloring might remind you of a goldfish, but no. When I look at them, I didn't think goldfish first. I love that line of black down their sides.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They almost look like a taxi cab to me. Like the typical New York City taxi
Okay. Yeah.
cab.
Yeah.
Back from the 70s, 80s.
Yeah. Now you got some others in here. I noticed a couple of different types. I think really cool coloring on them, like these long guys.
Those
with
are
the
Denison
black
barbs.
stripes and the yellow spots on their
Yeah,
tail.
Denison. They're a bit of a bugger to move over, as in once you buy them, and they don't travel well.
Oh,
But
okay.
once they get established, they're fine.
They're fine.
They're an expensive barb. That's why you don't have very many of them.
Yeah.
But they're a cold water species. That and these checker barbs, they like temperatures in the 60s and 70s. So no
Which is
heater
good.
required.
Yeah. You got another. That's one right here. Got so much color on it.
I see you're checking out the cichlids there.
Well, I'm trying to. I get a bit of an image. They're hanging out inside that piece of driftwood.
Yeah, they've got themselves a cave. They're kribensis. They're mouth brooders, meaning they'll keep the fish or the fry in their mouths. once they hatch. So
Very cool.
they're one of the type of fish that will protect their young, and they're very dominant, as you can see. There's a male and a female there.
The colors. Well,
Yeah.
Zooming around a bit much. The colors are amazing. So that's the male I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah. That's probably one of the nicest male kribensis I've ever seen in my life.
Is that the female way back there behind the ear?
That it looks like a purple belly.
Where is she? Right up there.
Yeah, that's probably the less dominant female. The other female will probably be in the cave with probably the egg clutch, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Because you saw two go in there, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one hanging out there. Oh, that's the male, I think, hanging out there.
Now, have you seen fish that kind of look like sunfish in there?
I don't think so. What am I looking at here, Chris? Way at the back.
You're looking at American flagfish. They're a native fish from Florida. They'd be my only North American fish in here.
Oh, cool.
Again, no heater required.
Yeah.
The good thing about this whole tank is no heaters required. In fact, any of my fish in here.
Well, you have no heaters in any of your tanks in here.
Actually, I do in one in here, just because I want to make sure the temperature stays around 72, 73.
Okay.
But the back going to the American flagfish.
Yeah, there we are.
Why I put them in here is I noticed I was getting a lot of algae on these anubias plants.
Okay.
And I didn't want to put any fish that could potentially harm the plants in here.
Yeah.
And those American flagfish absolutely love algae, string algae, any of that. They just
cool.
love it. And,
So we should be putting these in our ponds for the summer.
well, I don't know that they would like our temperatures. But if you lived in the southern states or you were only dealing with ponds for the summertime, they'd be a great summertime fish.
Yeah, like I was thinking, if you could get them out in the fall, they'd be great to stick in there for the summer.
Yeah.
But you probably need about 100 of them.
No, not really. You can see they're constantly pecking at the plants, but they're not eating the plants. They're always looking for food on it. They're actually, a bit of a fin nipper, but you notice around here, there's no fish with any fin damage at all.
No, I can say I haven't seen
the
anything.
most aggressive fish in here, believe it or not, are the kribensis. They're very territorial, and when they're in the breeding mode, like you can see right now, they're back into the cave.
Yeah.
They'll defend that territory. That's why I've got more algae on those anubias there than anywhere else.
Stay away.
Yep. And
there he is, kind of poking out from behind the wood.
yeah. So I've got a real variety
Very cool.
of fish in this tank. I really love it. Between my cory cats that you see scurrying around at the bottom.
Yep.
I'm really trying to get the growth of plants in here between my crips, anubias, my creeping jenny, I think I already mentioned sword plants, but I really want to get a really thick undergrowth here, just in case I do get some fry from these kribensis.
Oh, sure, a lot of places to hide.
Well, I did get some, and I think it was the parents the first time breeding, and they didn't protect them long enough, and they got eaten.
They got munched, yeah.
I don't know if the parents ate them, or I'm guessing these larger barbs ate them.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure.
All right. Well, that's a great tour of this tank.
And lots of
Looks
roots.
fantastic. Yeah, there's a lot of potential, like you say, for the foliage. You get a lot of these plants to take and get going. There'll be a lot of cover.
My water lettuce, for some reason, did not take off in this at all.
Well, you got a couple of chunks up there.
Yeah, but you notice all the root fibers are gone.
Yes.
Much like a goldfish would do to it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if my gold barbs have done that, or the cats.
Hard to say until you catch them in the act.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we move on to the tank that's beside me here. So, as we head around the room, we're looking at another tank. How many gallons is this one?
This is a 125 as well.
125.
And
Great size tank.
it's filled with barbs.
Yeah. Now, how many different types of barbs do you have in this one?
Just two.
Two.
There's Mascara barbs.
Which are the smaller ones?
They're the ones without the fancy finish at the top. So they've got the one black spot at the back
Okay.
and the two little red marks. And they've got kind of like an eye shadow. That's why they call them mascara barbs.
All right.
Yeah, they're just a beautiful, hardy barb that can get quite big, about 6 inches. These are still pretty much juveniles.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay. You've had them for a number of years, though.
No,
haven't you?
1 year.
1 year?
Almost 1 year.
Okay.
And they were pretty tiny and skinny when I got them. And the other barb is the aurelius barb.
I'm going to scoot over this side. I'm getting a lot of glare.
And it's just with all these lights, right?
Yeah.
So I could go and turn them all off individually.
Yeah, but then you have to reset them all, don't you?
Yeah, which is a total pain.
Yeah, so we'll just leave them. I'm getting some good shots.
So with the aurelius barb, they're a really cool barb. They're pretty rare in the hobby. I was able to get a few batches, but the problem is I got mainly males.
What I really like about this tank, Chris, is the activity in it.
And they're constantly going.
They're just moving all the time.
Yeah, well, with barbs, that's pretty much normal, right? They're not a a fish.
They're not a sluggish fish or a lazy fish.
No, they're on the go nonstop, and if they think they're going to get fed, they're really super active.
Now, that's an issue with them as well. I guess all your barbs or some of them, when you feed them, they get so rambunctious that they'll be out of the tank.
Yeah, I've lost a few of these guys. My aurelius, they've jumped out, and I thought I had it all plugged up, but they found a way out.
Yeah,
and I try to keep as many plants in here as possible.
Yeah,
I've got anubias.
I want to talk to you about these crazy stems.
Those are bacopa.
That's bacopa?
That's bacopa.
And that's what's popped out up here, huh?
Well, here popped up or blown out.
It's just like blown out the top.
Well, that's why I have the scissors here. I'm actually.
Are you trimming it all the time?
Give that haircut.
Trimming it and.
But actually,
planting it.
if you look here, they started to sprout roots.
They have, haven't they?
But the problem is, it's now become terrestrial.
Yeah.
Instead of.
Now, would you be able to pop that into the tank if you did a cutting?
I popped some in the goldfish tank that hasn't really taken off.
Okay.
And
So you have to give it a bit of time to get established.
Yeah. So if I could just hang it back in the water more.
Yeah.
But it does great. It's still doing a perfect job of
for sure. I mean, it's
the air, right?
It's rooted into your substrate, right? And that's where it's going to absorb all its nutrients. So it's doing a great job, whether it's growing out of the tank or not. It's still doing its job in the tank. But I like it. The stem's just coming up here with nothing on them.
I mean, that's natural, right?
Yeah. Very cool.
And then, we've got...
That's a philodendron. I can't remember which one that is. That might be Bloody Mary.
Yeah. It's
doing really well.
It's got...
It's really nice big. And stiff and strong, too.
Yeah.
And I think that's Brazil back there.
And
it doesn't have much color to it.
Well, it's being outcompeted right now.
Yeah, but no, the plants, by and large, all the plants in here have done really well. All the cuttings we did last year.
Well, now if we look back here.
What are you doing back here?
There's no light back here. There's no natural light in this room at all.
Oh,
in fact, there's no window.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. And that's growing in behind.
Behind your filter.
Where there's no light. But I wanted to bring that back up.
Definitely happy. Now, it might be reaching for...
The light back here?
No.
There's no light back there.
No, a little bit of heat.
It might be.
So that's the only heater you have in this room is an oil-filled heater?
Yeah. It's set to 22 Celsius.
So obviously when you're not in here, the door's closed.
Yeah.
The humidity is increased.
Yeah.
Which is great for your plants, all the cuttings we did. And it also keeps the water at a decent temperature.
Now,
without using individual
there is a
heaters.
hole I've got cut in the wall here.
Okay.
And that's had a fan going back and forth, but I took that out because...
Yep. You've got a couple of tanks on the other side of this wall. Is that why there's a hole there to try and get some of this heat?
Yeah, back and forth. And for ventilation. So I've got my tanks don't go right up to the wall. It's because, again, there's no windows in this room.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if they're right up against the wall, that's
You're going to get mold.
yeah, of course.
And there is a fan above you that I can turn on.
Or a
For air
ceiling
circuit.
fan here. Yeah.
And yeah,
That brings us obviously
to one of
with
the
my
last
camera
things.
work to one of the last tanks. Now another tank with barbs in it.
Yeah.
And these guys are also really active. These guys are crazy.
No, those are Odessas.
Okay.
They've all been bred here, outside, and then brought in. I bred over a few hundred, and that was just the year before last.
Okay.
And I've moved it a lot on. Like I probably moved another 200 of these guys off.
Yeah.
But I didn't breed any this year simply because I was having a problem moving them off. And they're beautiful fish.
They are.
If I lived closer to the city, I would have no problem.
I'm noticing these guys down here.
Yeah. Those are melon barbs. And I find them comical.
Here's one.
They're mischievous little buggers. They're really nosy, but they'll go up, do something and then jump back down and hide. So I think they're kind of cool.
I didn't even know they were in here.
They are a funny fish. Unfortunately, they're all females.
Well, I was going to say that one must be a female. She looks huge.
Yeah, they're all females. If they're male, there'd be a kind of like a purpley to them.
Oh, okay. So a bit more color.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a fun fish. Your plants are doing well in this tank.
Yeah, the Nubius and some Crips.
This guy?
Yeah.
And what's this one on the log here?
That's a Nubius.
The Nubius, the one that's flowering?
Yep.
That is really cool. Oh, this
And
one's flowering over here too. Right there.
And up above, you can see there's lots and lots of water lettuce.
Yeah. There's some decent root on those ones. However, this really caught my eye, and the last tank we'll look at.
In this room.
Yeah. Are the roots here coming down? That is fantastic.
I really wanted to get the kind of a wild look on this tank.
I think you've pretty much achieved it up there. That is great.
And this is...
Now, do you have some bacopa going on up here too?
Do I have? Yeah, I've got some that are just not rooted. And then I've got some that are rooted.
Some down here, yeah. And that will obviously end up like that other tank we looked at with stems coming right up to the top.
Yeah. And because there's no lid on this tank, they should get up nice and high. It depends how thick the water lettuce gets.
Okay.
Um,
Now, these, what you've got in here, no worries about them jumping out?
well, that's why I've kind of got a couple pieces of driftwood on top.
Okay, yeah, I see that. And you got the light in the center of that.
Yeah, and with the amount of water lettuce that's in there, I shouldn't have a problem. Now,
Okay.
the fish that are in here, are kribensis. You're looking behind here.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a good shot of them.
That's a really nice, colorful male. That'd be the dominant male.
Oh, down through the wood here.
I'll move over. You can get a better look.
Yeah, he's sort of facing us there.
Yeah, if you have to pause it and start again. Oh, you're getting them. So there's 3 pairs in here of
Okay.
kribensis.
All right.
And with this, there's tons of caves. And they'll spend most of the time hiding right now. But when they get used to us being out here again, because there's more than one person in here,
Yeah,
they've gone into hiding.
there's a couple.
Those are zebra Daniels.
Okay.
Those are dither fish, basically. Those are to let the other fish know everything's okay.
All right. Like they're moving about. It's like, yeah, it's safe to be out
just
here.
like the white clouds in a couple of the other tanks.
Okay. I'm getting kind of messed up here because I'm getting the reflection of your Shubunkin
Yeah,
in the end of this tank.
yeah. And there's no goldfish in there. I guarantee it.
No. Now this one you did some reno to recently on the substrate.
Yeah,
you added?
that's all sand. Then there's gravel, and then there's dirt.
Okay. Which is great for growing plants.
Yeah.
And get them anchored and something to grow into.
Yeah, so I'm hoping the Crips will take off and go crazy throughout this tank.
No, it's these guys here?
Yeah. And there's a couple different varieties of crypts in there. Some of them are more of a purpley color.
The purple, and then the other one's a bit more. Whoops,
Yeah.
I did that a little fast. The other's a bit more green.
Yep. Yeah, some of the females are coming out finally to say hello.
Oh, there she is.
Now you'll notice some of the females, once they start moving around a bit more, are a little bit more dominant than the others. You'll see a little stronger coloration.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, and
Hard to get them.
like the dominant male, there'll be a dominant female of the tank, and they'll pair off.
Okay.
Now, from what I can tell, is at least two of them have paired off and have their own territory. And you know how I can get them into the breeding form is, I'll show you. We'll give them some food.
Okay.
So
what do you got there, Chris?
I'm going to give these guys some Cyclops. This is a poor man's baby brine shrimp.
Okay.
It's 2 times cheaper. And that'll get moved around and they'll start pecking at it slowly. Probably if we back off. It's just, they're still relatively new.
Yeah.
But once they get onto this food, that'll push them into breeding that much quicker.
Yeah, I see her over there.
Yep.
Over in the corner.
You can see more now. See them all starting to come out?
Yeah.
They love this stuff.
Very cool. And what did you just put in there? Looks like brine shrimp to me.
Yep, it is. Helps with the coloring and just gives them a little something else.
Something different. Give them a bit of variety.
These guys get flakes, they get pellets, some fresh veggies once in a while, and some brine shrimp.
You're also using a variety of different pellets.
Yeah. Now, if you want to see insanity,
sure, who doesn't? If I can get a good shot on this glass. Look at that.
that's quick, eh?
Wow. Yeah, they were making quick work of that. But I can see their level of activity, and if you would put flakes in there that are floating, how they would jump out.
Yeah.
Would you call them aggressive eaters?
Barbs are extremely aggressive eaters.
But not in a nasty way. They're just...
Yeah. So you want to see behind the bar, do you?
Yeah, let's take a look over here. What are these guys? These are new.
Yeah. I just got those not too long ago. They're wakin. I've got 6 and then one that's a half wakin. And I'm hoping to breed them with the Shubunkin that's a half wakin. Just so I get a calico.
Yeah, you were saying, I remember you talking about that.
So I'm not going to try breeding them until springtime.
Yeah.
I wish they were in a bigger tank, but that's the biggest I could offer them right now.
Yeah.
And it beats where they were staying. There's an abandoned fish farm, and then they just didn't have the means to look after them anymore. They're in about a 5-foot deep pond, but the pond hadn't run in 4 years.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. So no filtration.
They're actually in pretty good shape considering.
Yeah. And I like that they're full-bodied goldfish. They're not...
I like the tails on them too.
Yeah, they're short.
Is that a split tail?
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is how all fantails originated.
Excellent looking fish.
It's got the full body of ordinary goldfish.
Yep.
So they don't have the same problems that your fancy goldfish do. So they'll take nice cold weather,
which is handy for up here.
Yeah.
So these are the other 2 wakin and that mix you were talking about.
Yep.
He's actually a good looking fish. So these are a couple of the koi we got off of Darren.
They are. And as you can tell, one is definitely going to be a longfin.
Yeah,
Or butterfly.
that's coming home with me in the spring.
Yeah. It's
got a couple of regular fins in the pond there, so we'll do a swap.
Yep.
So why do you have the blue light on this tank?
Well, I can put the white light on, but it's such a high intensity that I just produce algae, and the brightness actually freaks them out.
Okay.
So
yeah, I can tell since you brought that other light over here, they're a little more
skittish.
Like, get me out of here.
Here, I'll take it away and calm them down. I might have to put a Shubunkin in there just to calm them down.
Oh yeah, and that'll calm them down. Why?
They're just a calmer fish. A lot of people will add a goldfish or two when they have koi. Sometimes if the koi are too edgy, like these ones are.
Okay, yeah, I see that they've calmed down now.
Yeah, they don't like bright light. So
now the rest of the ones you got from Darren, you put them in your pond, right?
Yep.
What was that? 3 or 4 of them, I think.
3.
Now I think this is my favorite spot.
Well, it can't be. It's mine.
I think this is my favorite spot in your basement. Except for that piece of driftwood. What's going on there? Fish eating the roots or something?
Yeah, unfortunately.
And that's some of the mare's tail, I think. No,
that's
the other one.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the name of. That you got from me when I was cleaning.
Yeah, it was doing really, really well. And I don't know what, because I think it was on the other side of the pond and it's just a better light. And now it's become a little bit weaker, and goldfish have just decided that they like the taste of it.
We're going to eat this. I see some other leaves down here that look like they've been munched on a bit.
A little bit of the Java fern. The Anubias down there looks to be doing pretty good, though. There was one that was already a wakin that was munched on in a tank, so I brought it over to this. And
okay,
the whole goal is, I've got a couple fake plants in here, is to get those out and be all natural in here.
Yeah,
that's the goal, anyways.
Well, I mean,
sometimes you can't always hit your goals.
Not always,
but I'm happy with the clarity. I'm happy there's no fish smell in here whatsoever.
Not at all.
It's and it doesn't smell like there's a pond or anything down here. It's just nice and clean, and my plants are doing well.
Excellent.
And a lot of these plants, again, came from your cuttings.
Yeah.
If you recognize them.
Oh, I do. Yeah. Burrow marks over here. That philodendron that's reaching out onto the edge of the pond.
It's done really well.
Yep. There's a Tahiti. I reaching with the camera, so I can't show you that leaf very well, but that's a philodendron Tahiti. Some of them are not exactly recognizable at the moment, so I'm not sure what they were. It's a lighting thing as well.
Yeah, there's some peace lily in there, and there's some more parlor palms that are, again, not...
They're doing all right.
Yeah.
And then that way over there is...
lemon lime.
Lemon lime, philodendron lemon lime.
And this is more of a rubber plant.
Okay, back in there, yep. Very cool.
And while I'm feeding these guys, I'm always give these guys lots of brine shrimp.
Chow down, you guys.
They will.
It's kind of, I don't know, different not hearing the sound of running water while looking down into a pond setup.
I didn't want a big splashy, noisy pond.
No.
It's nice and quiet down here.
Yep.
And it's, you sit here, relax. If it's cold and crappy outside, you just come down and hide. Whether you're having a hot drink, a cold drink, or just,
just chilling out.
Just chilling out. This is my spot. And my Gara, as you can see, some flying around there. They love the brine shrimp as well.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. You got 3 of them in here?
Yeah. And they're into everything. They're
there's the other 2 right down there. I don't know if they'll be able to be seen or not. This is one of my favorite parts of, well, in my case, koi keeping and ponds, is feeding them. and just observing them and watching them. And with koi, you see some different personalities, and it's just, I don't know, it's sort of calming, especially when you see them actively eating. That's another indication in my mind that, yep, my fish are healthy. Everything's fine.
And there's, you know, some fish that are way more aggressive eaters than others. And these are, for the most part, pretty on the equal standard of each other.
Yeah, these guys are fairly peaceful eaters.
Well, no, if I threw some top food in there, you'd be hearing some splashing.
Oh,
the
okay.
tails would be flipping and be water.
But with sinking food, it's different.
Yeah. And, you know, it's kind of like a live food with all the water that's moving around here. But they'll be there sifting through all the sand for the next 20 minutes. And that'll keep them active. And that's what carp, goldfish, koi are supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah, and it keeps them out of trouble.
Might keep them away from eating my plants for a little bit.
For the next 5-10 minutes.
Well, thanks for coming over, Jim. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks for having me over. I've been wanting to get over
And get the tour in.
Well, I've been watching some of your videos lately, and I was like, I got to get over there and check this out for myself.
Oh, because most of the stuff we do is usually outside, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I haven't done any video with you inside. I don't think.
Yeah, we did the plants.
Oh, there's the plant one last winter, the cuttings.
Yeah.
Yep.
And all the cuttings are from last winter,
Yep.
and they've all done
They're doing really well.
well.
Really well. I'm impressed.
Yeah, thanks.
You got fish with good poop.
Has some good lighting.
You must feed them well.
You saw it.
Yep.
Well, thanks again. Remember to hit that thumbs up button. Think about subscribing and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Well, thanks again.
No problem.
And
Looking good.
We'll see you on the next one.
Your ponds and aquariums and
they're looking
good.
Yeah, piss off. Anyways, thanks again. Bye for now.